Good afternoon, folks. I just wanted to come and shoot a video real quick on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Just after lunch, just put some food in my belly, and I've got to get a pedal board together, which is why you see this here. Have to get a pedal board together I'm going to do it for a couple rehearsals I have, and I want to try out some different configurations and pedals. And frankly, I'm lazy, and my gig rig, that's my setup with my Kemper and all that stuff, kind of lives in a road case, and with all the cables I need for it and everything, I have minor OCD. And so just knowing that, hey, everything's in that case that I need to show up to a gig and have my normal preferred setup, gives me peace of mind. So for rehearsals and whatever else, I often just kind of throw together a pedal board or something that I can kind of, I can just sort of take. If I know there's going to be an amp there I can plug into that's halfway decent. So in this case, I think for some stuff coming up, one rehearsal space I think has a Blues Junior, which is fine. Like that amp. Have owned a couple, they're great. And then another has a PV Classic 50, and I love that amp. This one in particular has been it's been worked on by a local guy, or a guy in Northern Virginia rather, and it sounds great. It's a phenomenal amp. The PV Tweed series, I had one of my good friends who's kind of a music mentor and just mentor in general of mine, gave me a Classic 30 years ago. Just out here, it's on indefinite loan, and took that, which I've always appreciated. That was actually the first tube amp I ever had, was a PV Classic 30. So say all that to say, there's going to be some decent tube amps at these rehearsal spaces, and I just need to basically throw some pedals down to be able to get the sounds I need and get the sounds I'm going for. The reason I'm doing a video on this is I've heard a lot of people say that it seems very daunting to put a pedal board together, or they don't have enough time to do it, or all kinds of excuses. They're just not good at it. So I'm doing this video today to just show you really quick. I don't have a whole lot of time today, but I just wanted to show how easy it is to actually throw a pedal board together from scratch. You'll see there's not even a power supply on here, which will be that is subject to change. So yeah, it's going to basically do a really quick, throw a pedal board together kind of video. Probably try to put a timer on this or something, to show you how long it actually takes to do this. So that being said, there are some prerequisites, some things I've already done. I did already pick out a handful of pedals. So they're sitting right over here off camera. I have a handful of patch cables here and some power cables here. What I'm not going to do is try to swap things in and out and figure out what works and what doesn't and that kind of thing. I know these pedals, so that's kind of pre-work that's already been done. I already picked. I've kind of have pedals floating around here. My Metal Master that I think I stole from my brother in middle school, Digitech Metal Master, shout out. Is sitting over here. It's got a bunch of random pedals, kind of all over the place because I'm super organized. And so I basically walked around and just picked out a handful of pedals rather that I know really well, that I want to put on a board, and that I know I'll be able to show up to a rehearsal and get a variety of sounds. Whatever, it gives me some flexibility to get creative in the moment if I want to think up some different parts. I kind of know these pedals well, know what they do, and how they interact with each other. So yeah, gonna build a board with these. So yeah, just gonna kind of go about it and get a timer going right about now and talk through what I'm doing. All right, so let's play like I am on the clock. All right, so I need to get a power supply on here. So I have a Pedal Power 2 Plus sitting around, which is really great. I have a couple of these. I think I have an ISO 5 as well. They're not the newest and sexiest power supplies in the world, and there's the DC-10 and other ones that are a lot slimmer profile, things like that. whatever, it works, it's fine. It especially works really well with these older pedal train boards. This is one that I just spray painted with metallic paint years ago, and put some dual lock on. I'm a big dual lock fan, so that's all this is. So I'm literally, I actually don't even, I got this in a trade, I think, and I don't even have the brackets for it, so I'm literally just gonna zip tie it in here real quick. I have these big old cable zip ties, so I'm gonna just take a couple and fasten it to the pedal board real quick. So the older pedal trains are great because you can get them for a little bit of nothing, and they work really well. So let me think, how do I want to do this? I want to be able to access the dip switches, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna put it in here like this. Because when you look, you can access the power jack and the sort of external power jumper through those holes there, which is great. That's super phenomenal. All right, so let's get it going. It's gonna be very lean and mean. I'm not going for a, you know, perfect sort of approach here. I'm just literally gonna send a zip tie through here and hold it on with a zip tie, because that's how I feel today. And I dropped that one. Oof, rough life, not off to a good start. As you can tell, going for function over form here. It's not the prettiest, but it's not gonna fall. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So that's fine. All right, now we can get started. So let's do let's get the beginning of my chain going. Very exciting. All right. All right, to start my chain, one thing that's a piece of my sound that I use a lot is envelope filter. So I've got the Keeley Neutrino V2 here. I have the Analog Man envelope filter on my main board, which is absolutely phenomenal. It is one of the best. It's just the best. It's amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and strap that guy in. Is a bit of a special effect. So we'll just put it there. With the dual lock, I normally, you know, you can tell and kind of place it before you put it all the way in. I kind of do that in case I need to move things around. So I won't snap a pedal all the way in with the dual lock. I just kind of will make it hold itself there in place. I was going to use my Sunbender on this board. This is a Mark IV Sunbender from Analog Man. It's amazing, but I apparently have a dead battery in there, and I'm too lazy to change it right now. No time. So I am going to just basically move it out for this super fuzz. And you know what? These aren't going to be used. I'm not going to hit these as often, so I'm going to put them up top actually. So we're going to start there and then kind of come down here for the drive section or something. All right, so let's do drives next. See what we want to do. I really don't know how many pedals. I just grabbed a bunch of stuff. I don't know how many pedals I'm going to be able to fit on this board, so I just got a bunch of stuff, and I know I like this kind of, this is a Pro Analog Devices Manticore version 2. It's great. I have version 1 on my board, my main board. I use this as like a leave it on all the time kind of drive situation, and now my these are coming back to bite me, aren't they? My zip ties are kind of in the way, so I'll throw this down here. It's fine. It's fine. It's just gonna live down here as kind of an always on drive. So we'll put that there. The broadcast, I'd like to use it. I really like it for recording, just because it's gnarly, man. It's really a great pedal. Need to do a video on that another time. But for now, I think I'm gonna skip it for now. I'm just gonna go with the tried and true Paul Cochrane Timmy. I guess this is technically, the versions are kind of an internet argument that's pretty dumb, like many internet arguments, but this is a version 2 because it has a little toggle switch on it instead of that being internal. So I have a surf green one of these on my main board. Again, I own multiple of the same pedal because I'm a lunatic apparently. And then, all right, so I kind of have, I typically, let's talk about stacking drives real quick. So I typically stack drives, medium to low to medium gain overdrives, and then have one that I have typically on a higher setting or something. So I'll use the Manticore, which is a Klon type pedal, not as a clean boost proper, but I will use it with a little bit of dirt. Because the more dirt that you give with this one, it also brings in low end, which is something I actually like about the Klon. I like how the Klon style pedals, I should say. I like a little more low end than what it sounds like from internet videos. I don't know how helpful those are. From comparisons to the real thing, the Klons that are thousands of dollars that I'm not going to spend money on. They typically don't have quite enough low end. Whereas there's some really, really great pedals that are based on them that you can get plenty of low end in. So yeah, so we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with the Manticore into the Timmy, and then I think I'm gonna do it into the Tone Soloist. This pedal rocks, dude. It's a they say it's a Tube Screamer based pedal. It honestly does not really sound like that to me. It sounds more like a lot of the Dumble style pedals that companies have put out, like Vertex Effects has a steel string, stuff like that. It's kind of like those mixed with a tube. I don't know. I don't even know what that pedal's based on, but it has a lot more. Let's put it this way: it has a lot more low end that you can dial in and high end, and a lot more presence than a Tube Screamer. So in that way, maybe it's like a modded Tube Screamer if you've had one from various pedal companies that mod. All right, so looking pretty good so far. The broadcast, do I need it? I want it. I really want it. How many? I don't even know how many cables I have. I think my pile of cables over there, I don't even know. Let's put it here. I'm gonna put it right here as a maybe. Let's put it in as a maybe. This pedal is super rad. Yeah, especially the high gain, it could replace this fuzz. I could kind of just use the high gain side of this as a fuzz if I wanted to. And a boost. And it probably doesn't suck tone as much as the Behringer. Although that probably doesn't suck tone very much. Alright, game time decision. We're doing the broadcast, we're not doing the super fuzz. Alright, super fuzz, going back. Alright, let's get the rest. Okay, I got the rest of my pedals here. I think what I'm going to do in the chain is a DD20, and then, so DD20, man, one of the best delay pedals ever. I've used one of these for a long time. They're really great. Before I got the Kemper especially. Now in my production rig, I have all my presets built into different performances if there's a song that has a very specific delay that's needed. So, obviously on this board, I have nothing with presets so far. So, I love the simplicity of the DD20. I tell you, I had the DD500 and it was just too much for me. I actually sold it. I had found one for a good deal. I was like, I'll give it a try. DD20 has 4 presets. It is everything you need. It sounds great. When I bought my first DD20 used, I had a TC Nova delay at the time, and when you AB them, I just feel like the DD20 delay just sounds better. It just sounds way better. All right, so we're gonna go with that, and I'm putting it in the front. Why am I doing that? I'm doing it because I'm putting the DD20 in the front. Why am I doing that? You basically hold down the right pedal to change what preset you're pulling up, and then you can do your tap tempo with that. This is just your on off over here. So I put that in the front because I'm constantly stepping on it. So the stuff that I step on a lot, I try to put in the front. Now, the one thing about putting the DD20 in the front is it is kind of a tall pedal. Like if you look, it's kind of, at least visually to me, it goes way further back on the pedal board and it's kind of high. So it can be hard to reach pedals back here with your feet. So there is a solution for that. Pedal Train, I've collected a bunch of these pedal risers from Pedal Train over the years. I don't know why I have this many of them. I think I'm holding like, how many is this? I just dropped a mini one. So I have like the regular size pedal one. I have the one I'm gonna put on this board, I'll put here. And then I have like 2 more. I think at some point on my big board, I had them like all the way across the top or something ridiculous. It's dumb, it's insane, it's too much. But I'm gonna put this one right here. And not even gonna put pedals on it first. just gonna kind of put it there and wing it. All right, so next, oh, I put the DD20 on here, but I didn't really go in signal chain order. I just wanted to, I knew that was gonna be like a, you know, landmark piece here. So I am, however, going to need, at the end of the drive section, I typically put some kind of modulation. I'm going to go with the Mxr Phase 90, great pedal. Recommend you try one if you haven't tried a phaser. It's one of the, you know, basic ones. There's like, you know, Phase 45, Phase 95, Phase 90. Has to do with how out of, I believe, how out of phase it gets. It's like cycles of clean signal to out of phase, like when they meet up and when they don't. I obviously can't explain how phaser works very well in short form, but it's 90 cycles basically in between them meeting up, I think is what that means. I don't really know. It sounds great. I've had it for a long time. It's basically indestructible. This is one from like the mid 2000s or something. And you can pick these up online for like, you know, 40, 50 bucks if you find the right deal. They're great. On my production board, I call it my production board. I work in technology for a living, so I think of my production, like when you see a website, that's a production website. Can't get work out of my brain. It's Saturday. I need to do that. All right, but basically on my main board that I use for gigs, I have a chorus. I have an Analog Man mini chorus, which is absolutely lush and amazing. So I don't have another one of those. Those are really expensive chorus pedals, and it's actually the only chorus pedal I own at the moment because I use the I only really use analog style choruses for what I do, where I'll add just a touch of it in a clean tone, especially if I need a little bit more high end, or need to cut through something a little better for some chord stuff or give me some clarity. Sometimes using a chorus, generally the EQ of a chorus pedal can kind of get you there and help you push through the mix. So I just like it. Also, I just like the chorus effect. Use it at a variety of speeds and depths. But I actually use the Kemper chorus a lot. I use it quite a bit. So I honestly only own one chorus pedal at this point because the Kemper really gets it done. The chorus sounds amazing. People would not know in the crowd. Even guitar players in the crowd, I'm sure, do not know, because in any gig with the main band I play for, I use both over the course of a gig, and I bet no one knows. Bet no one has any idea. More on Kemper and chorus and why I use what, when, and all of that another time. But anyway, Phase 90 is going to go at the end of my drives, and then I'm going to go into delays. So I think I'm gonna do, I'm not sure really, what do I want to do here? All right, so I'm gonna put the ARP87 next. Wow, I obviously can't hold it up to a camera. ARP87 is an absolutely amazing delay. I know they came out with the high fidelity delay maybe a year or two after this guy, Walrus Audio did, but I like this one. It has, again, I tend to like simple things. The DD20 has 4 presets. The ARP87 has no presets. Maybe there's a weird way that you can do some with the switches, and I could be wrong. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. I just never need to do that. But it has 4 programs. It has digital, analog, it has lo-fi, and then it has a slap feature where if you just throw it over there, it gives you a really nice old school slap feel. I use this almost exclusively on the lo-fi setting. I find that the lo-fi setting is absolutely amazing. One of my favorite delay sounds ever. So I have 2 of these. There's one, again, I'm insane. One of them is on my main board, and then because I got the neon color one, because of course the neon, if it's a cool color, you want to use it more, right? So yeah, that's on my main board. I think I'm going to put this next in the chain. I'm going to put it up here. That way I can step over the DD20 easily and access these with that riser. Let me show you what that looks like from kind of, you know, your view while you're playing. So as you can see, got lots of clearance to be able to step on this pedal versus You know, the buttons aren't going to be hard to get to, and you need this one to be particularly the ARP87 because of the tap tempo. There is no time knob on this delay pedal, which I don't care about because I actually almost never dial in a delay time by hand. Drums are my first instrument. I kind of hear what cadence I need. I normally just have it set on quarter, and I'll just tap whatever delay I need. Even if I want a dotted eighth, I'm insane. And on both of these pedals, I just basically put the tap tempo set to quarter note, and I will tap. If my tempo is like this, I will tap on the foot switch. I'll go bop 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 for dotted eighth because I'm a lunatic. Yeah. All right. Cool. So everything's set. Got my whole layout done here, which is great. So let's start wiring it up. I typically run power first, just because, I don't know. I actually don't know why. The cables are small. It's pretty easy to do before you start trying to get these are typically easier. These little cables are typically easier to route the way you want than the actual patch cables, quarter-inch patch cables are. So yeah, I like to run them first. So anyway, let's just do that. So like I said, it doesn't take too long. I think all these are the standard ones. Make sure you use the right cables too. You'll really mess up you'll mess a pedal up using the wrong power. I don't have any pedals on here that require weird power, but definitely check the manual. Don't just go in a rush, see if you can beat my time and hook up all your pedals with whatever power cable you want. Please don't do that. But I know everything on this board, basically it all takes standard voltage, 9 volt. That being said, there are like this delay, the DD20 will take more power. The two delay pedals, the digital delays, will take more power than anything else on this board, potentially combined. Yeah, you'll basically make sure, I'll show you which power outlets to use for those if you have them on whatever supply you're using. All right, so first of all, how many pedals do I even have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's great because there's 8 plugs on there. I did not plan for that. If I was going to throw in the fuzz pedal I had earlier, I have like a daisy chain power thing over there. People are like, oh, don't use those, you'll kill your pedals. You're a typical overdrive or something, that may take like 20 to 30 milliamps, maybe. Most of them I think take like 18 or something. It's like you can totally chain power on your pedal boards together. Just don't leave any, I don't like to leave any of them exposed where you'll have just like a random power jack, just like, you spill your cup of water on the stage and it's, you have a live power wire out there. Probably not a good idea to do that. So don't leave extra barrels on those extension cables exposed, but I've used them plenty and gigged with them. It's fine. I normally just tape up the ones I don't need so they don't get wet or anything. All right, cool. So let's do power. All right, so I'm gonna start with the envelope filter here. So easy enough. I'm actually just gonna throw them all in here. All right, so on the Pedal Power 2 Plus, again, trying to save time. Oh gosh, I'm about to lose my broadcast. I'm gonna put it right there so I don't break it. Oh no. So again, saving time, I'm just gonna kind of throw all these in here at the same time. Note on the Pedal Power 2 Plus that jacks 5 and 6, I believe, have a higher output. I believe they both output 400 milliamps. So even though neither of my delay pedals are 400 milliamps, I'm still going to use those higher output, jacks for my 2 delay pedals since they take the most power. Makes sense in my mind, even though they don't need that many. All right, so I normally will start with those. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I've got the 2. I have identified the 2 that are the highest power here. So I'm going to route that up to the ARP87, throw that in. Normally just pull the excess down through. There you go. I normally tape up the bottom or use a zip tie or something, whatever works easiest. All right, so my delays are hooked up. Then I can just kind of do everything else based on location. So I'm going to take the Neutrino and plug it in. I think it's got a weird power jack, right? I know, it's right on top. Great. Going by feel, guys. I don't like that sticking up because it's going to poke out the front of the board. I don't like that. So I'm going to swap this one around. I'm going to use the right angle up here so I don't mess it up. And then throw the straight barrel into the power supply down here. Great. All right. Next, we'll do the Manticore Overdrive. Use whatever outlet you want. No big deal. All right, so I've got the Manticore with power. Want to do power for the Timmy. I'm actually going to run it up the side just so I can tuck it in nice and easy. All right, that's good. Soloist. I'm not even going in order. I'm literally just grabbing whichever one I see with my eyes, which is maybe a winning strategy, maybe not. We'll see. I really like the power jack on this one because it goes high. It goes up pretty high on the pedal itself. Actually, the mount point's pretty high. It's not like recessed down here where it's hard to get a cable into. So good job, King Tone, making it very practical and very easy. All right, I just have two left. I have the Hudson Broadcast and I have the Phase 90. So I'm going to hook up the Phase 90 real quick. Got its power going. And then I'm gonna send one up here for the broadcast. All right, which basically fell off my board already because I didn't hook the Velcro in, which is great. All right, so it's gonna sit there like that. All right, easy peasy. Actually, I'm gonna put it over here. All right, easy peasy. So all the stuff's on here and it's not going anywhere and it's hooked up to power. So next, I'm gonna grab, again, this is a rehearsal board. I wouldn't do this for a gig rig, but you know, I have a bunch of cables laying around. I think they all work. I hope. Famous last words. So I'm just gonna go, I always go in signal chain order. I try to lay them out longest to shortest and use the shortest ones first, just because you never know what you're gonna run into. So I go straight into the envelope filter first. That's because you don't want that being filtered through distortion. At least I don't. That's certainly a sound. You can go for it. I like using a filter with fuzz, by the way, so don't at me. I just prefer to, I'm gonna run it underneath, all sly and slick like that. Don't at me. I do run filter into fuzz. I like it with fuzz, but I don't like distorting the signal that I'm trying to, that I'm trying to filter. So, because that's what that pedal does apparently. I just can't remember because I'm dumb. All right, pull the Timmy off here. Again, not trying to make it pretty, trying to make it work. So I don't even care. I'm just gonna basically leave that like that. Works for me. Stuff this over here. Make room. I'm gonna go, I've actually never run the broadcast after the Soloist ever. So I said, use pedals that you know really well and that work well and blah, 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 blah. So you should do that. I'm not, because I'm insane and I do as I say, and I live by do as I say, not as I do, apparently. All right, so for output, looks like I need a little bit of a longer cable, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use this guy. I'm going to route it a little bit funky in order to eat up some of the extra length that it's got, and then I'm going to, you might have noticed that I cheated. I haven't thrown Velcro on this yet. Don't at me, don't care. I will at some point. I don't even know if it's gonna stay on here, and I've never put Velcro on it, and I don't know if I want to. So yeah, all right. Then we will go out of the broadcast into the Phase 90. Oh, dude, this is so stupid. Oh no, it's gonna work. All right, cool. That'll be fine. All right, and then I have a bunch of super ridiculously long cables here. So I'm gonna, I have a bunch of really long cables here. This is really dumb. So I'm gonna swap this one out for this. phase 90 off. Go like this. These really don't, these monster cables, they sound really great, but they're really not. Look how stupid that is. They're functional. I don't like that. That's gonna drive me crazy. So we're gonna go back to doing what I was gonna do before. I will stuff this down there. I always, on these, the solderless cables, you know, I've been using these, I made these a long time ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and they still work, so that's great. I always find myself just tightening the tip to the back of the whatever, the cap there, just out of habit, because I've seen them come unplugged, and even if they come unscrewed, and if they even slightly come unscrewed sometimes, they will go bad. So we're gonna not do that. Yeah, we're gonna try and keep things working. All right, so I am gonna use this cable from the broadcast to the phase 90. I'm gonna try to get it to work like this, and it'll be fine. That'll work a-okay. And then we will come, oh, there's a problem. Failure, first big gaffe. Okay, I'm changing my mind on my delay order. I am going to run the ARP87 last, because you might have just noticed, guess what? It's going to be really handy to plug that into an amp if it's last in the signal chain, because it's got top mounted jacks, one of my favorite features of any pedal, and it's right there, whereas the DD20 outputs and inputs are going to be you know, hidden down here. So I am going to run it last. I just changed my mind. So easy enough though, easy fix. Take its input cable, I'm gonna route it down here, plug it into the DD20, or in the output of the DD20 rather, the mono output, because I don't run stereo. I like it, I've done it a couple times, but it's too much work. Too much work for the small upside for me. Okay, next I will run the phase 90 to the, see, smart. Didn't Velcro it back down. All right. Now I'll Velcro it down. This guy will get all the way down, and I'm gonna run this guy to the input and the mono input, and we'll be good. Get this up. All right, sweet. So there you have it. It's done. That really did not take super long. Wow, that camera angle is horrible. Somebody should have told me. All right, yeah, that camera angle was really bad. That's great. Good job, Gabe. All right, so it's all hooked up. That's it. So I'm gonna make sure it works, but guys, it doesn't take that long. It really does not take that long. I don't know how long that was. I'm gonna check the timer when I edit, but yeah, good to go. All right, so let's see if it works. All right, so I have a Blues Junior hooked up on the other side of the room. Let's see. All right, sweet. How much reverb's on there? Yeah, doable amount. All right, so I just want to make sure that everything works. At quick glance, I turned it on, and wanted to save you the very exciting process of locating 1/4-inch cables and hooking things into power and that sort of stuff. But hooked it up, and it looks like everything works so far. So I'm just gonna dial in some things really quick. I'm going to open up the envelope filter a little bit more. All right, so I got the envelope filter dialed in. I rarely play it with a pick, normally just with my fingers. Cool, that sounds good. All right, let's use for overdrives. I'll just set the Manticore at kind of a unity gain level. Should be pretty close to there. Okay, so with this one, don't know. I just like it. It keeps the stuff I want, and yeah. I should probably tune this guitar. I just pulled it out of my car from gig on Saturday and didn't even. I don't have a tuner on this board. Am I crazy? I don't know. I'll use a clip-on for practice or something. No clip-ons for gigs, but I'll use one for practice. All right, cool. Getting the Timmy dialed in here again. I like to use pedals for these boards that I know really well, and I know the Timmy like the back of my hand. It's awesome. All right, cool. So that's my first 2 stages. I know this pedal pretty well too. I know the Soloist pretty well. I like to think. Just want a little bit of drive with it. Yep. All right, so all 3 stages together. Oh, I need a bit more sustain out of this. A little saturation. Yeah, nice. I like it. Cool, that sounds great. Obviously there's no delay on that whatsoever, so I'm going to use my standard. There. Instead of tapping like having it set the dotted eighth and going 1, 2, 3, I'll just tap the triplet and then just quick and easy pedal board build, you know. Take a Saturday afternoon and just do it for yourself. It's not hard. Anybody can do it. Feel free to you know, if you have questions or have any tips for me too, things that you found easier, or you know, seeing anything you're like, oh, I've solved that problem, seeing anything here that, you know, you think you could help with, you know, shoot me a comment as well. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much.